All right, everybody, today we are looking at the energy of illness and letting that energy go, and then calling in the energy of supportedness. I love this. I didn't plan this. This was one of our energy exchange inspirations where we did that energy exchange video first. But what's funny about it, the reason I love it is if you look on my Instagram or my threads, you'll see that I started doing, today's the first day I've ever posted it, but I started to do recently a tarot of the day for myself. It's almost like, what is a symbolic focus I can have for this day? What is a little extra guidance I can have today? What is a little bit extra information I could have to just help guide my day? Well, today the Three of Pentacles came up, which is all about asking for and receiving help, being comfortable receiving help. And it doesn't mean you don't have to do any of the work, right? You are a co-creator, that you are allowing other people to support you in that creation process. And so this is making me think, because this came up again, because supportiveness was our new energy we were calling in, that this really is the true theme for today, whether that's just for me or hopefully for all of us. Hopefully this is for anybody who's been struggling to receive help. And that could be just guidance. That could be struggling to receive the wisdom of another. That could be struggling to receive financial support. That could be struggling to receiving emotional support, psychological support, whatever the case may be. So we're going to release all of us now, hopefully, from any blocks we have to receiving support. And from seeing ourselves as co-creators, someone who, yes, has something they can bring to the table, yes, has something they're working on, yes, has a project they want to create, but doesn't want to have to do it on their own. And it's interesting that the energy we're looking to release is the energy of illness, because I really do think that it can make us feel ill when we do not feel supported, when we feel like we have to be our own individual creator alone, putting in all the effort, putting in all the work with nobody else to support us. And that can drain us of our life force. It can drain us of our energy. It can drain us of really the stuff that keeps us feeling healthy and well. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to receive this healing for myself and share it with the rest of you and anybody who may benefit from this clearing. So we're going to get started. This is called spiritual response technique. This is when we use our pendulum and the series of dowsing charts to explore what's going on beneath the surface of this everyday life. What's going on in the unseen realms? What's going on for us spiritually? What's going on for us in those parallels that we don't always have easy access to, but that is definitely a huge influence over our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs, our experience of this reality and of this world. So we're going to get started. I'm clearing the energy out of the way with my pendulum right now. Part of what the pendulum is doing is giving us guidance. It is me, energy moving from my higher self, from source, from spirit, from God, through me, through my arm, through my hand into the pendulum. That gives us information, but it also is energy clearing. We're just clearing muck out of the way. So the pendulum is doing those two important things for us. So let's get started. Here we go. So I'm going to ask a percentage question, actually. So what percent are we open to receiving support? 100%. What percent are we blocked to receiving support? Also 100%. So we're open, which is great. We want it. We want the support. We're ready, but we're also blocked. So let's going to look at the blocks. And then what percent is this illness benefiting us in any way? Not at all. So the energy of illness is not benefiting us in any way. So there's nothing that we need to clear there. What percent are we open to clearing this energy of illness? 100% open to clearing the energy of illness. And what percent are we blocked to clearing the energy of illness? 100%. So we're looking at some blocks today. So we need to clear the blocks to receiving supportedness and the blocks to letting go of the energy of illness. So let's get started with the illness first. Let's get that out of the way. So what kind of blocks are happening here that is preventing us from getting rid of the energy of illness? And so is this 10A or 10B? 10A. Needed to confirm that. Okay. Genetic beliefs. This is generational beliefs that have been passed down to us for generations. You know who you are. Those families who love suffering and struggle. Those families that believe that your suffering makes you worthy. I release myself from any genetic or ancestral tie to the idea that suffering makes me worthy. I release myself from any genetic or ancestral curse that ties me and my family line to the idea of suffering alone, struggling alone, and refusal to ask for help. I release myself from any genetic or ancestral tie to the addiction to suffering alone. I really do think that some people feel pride in their suffering. Some people feel pride in the number of trophies they feel they can award themselves for going at it alone, never asking for help, never receiving help. And so again, we go back to confirmation bias, right? I have this belief and I must confirm this belief because it is so uncomfortable to have a belief be contradicted. When we have a belief that is contradicted, our whole world explodes, right? And you see that all the time, and it's why we fight with each other on social media, because we cannot stand if somebody's belief goes against our own. In fact, we must shoot them down, we must tear them down, we must make them feel stupid, we must argue with them, because that's how uncomfortable it is for us to believe that any other kind of thing could exist out there except for how we feel about something, or what we think about something, or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Releasing us now from the silliness that is our unwillingness to let go of this belief that suffering makes me worthy, whole, and better than anybody else. I don't have to be like my ancestors. I am willing to be the breaker of this ancestral curse, of this ancestral trauma. I am ready to start the new story for my ancestry. I am ready to be the one that recodes our DNA. And I refuse to pass this down to anyone else. It ends with me now. I love accepting help. I love accepting support. I love working together in community. I allow other people to support my ideas and my projects as I support them in theirs. So be it, so be it, so be it. Okay. So now what percent, we'll just get right into our percentages. Now what percent are we open to letting go of this illness? Now we're at 50%. So what do we got to do to clear that other 50% of our unwillingness to let go of this energy of illness caused by our lack of receiving support? You can't see this on our screen, but self-esteem. What percent, where's our self-esteem at? On a scale of 0 to 100, 0 being low self-esteem, 100 being great self-esteem, where are we at? And I'll show you guys, that's 0, okay? It's down low. Our self-esteem is low, which makes me think, again, this goes back to feeling unworthy of letting go of this illness. I am meant to be ill. I deserve to be ill. I deserve to be unhelped. I deserve to be unsupported. Releasing all of us now, again, from those lies, those stories, those fables, those misperceptions, those misbeliefs, and that misinformation. Release myself from any misinformation I have ever been told or ever been downloaded with that made me think I was not worthy of support. I clear the story of my unworthiness from my hard drive now. All right. Okay. What do we got to do? What do we got to do? What do we got to do? We go to chart 17. We say, what's happening here on chart 17? Our unwillingness to cooperate with our higher selves. We're not listening. Our higher self is our support, right? Our higher self is that's our number one support. Before anybody else, before anything else, we have our higher self. We have the higher version of us, the voice from the future. That's what I like to think of sometimes as my high self. It's like, it's my own voice from the future going, girl, I know how this turns out. I know how it turns out if you don't release yourself from this energy of illness. It doesn't turn out good. I know how it turns out if you don't accept help. it doesn't turn out good. So here's the steps to correcting that. Here's what you need to do to release that. Here's what you need to do to change. Our higher self is that version of us that knows better. And it's also our angels and our guides and those that intervene on our behalf. I'm not kidding when I say I have parking angels. I call them parking angels, but they are travel angels and they go with me everywhere and I see it happening. I cannot tell you how many near-miss accidents I have had, and I've watched these near-miss accidents happen right in front of my face, and I know it is my angels. There's no other explanation than my angels intervening on my behalf. Why am I safe, protected, and loved? I have no idea. I have no idea. Is it because my Jupiter's in Sagittarius in the 9th? Maybe. Because I'm just freaking lucky? Maybe. But I am divinely protected and loved, and that's my high self committee. That's my team. Those are my guides. Those are my angels. So stop pushing them away. Stop denying your higher self. Stop ignoring your higher self. Stop, pushing your angels away. I am willing to accept the help of my guides, my angels, and my higher self. I am willing to listen to my high self. And all of my committee members and all of my angels, I accept this protection. It's like somebody who's supposed to go in the witness protection program being like, nah, I got it, I'm good. And then like the next weekend, they're like, oh, you're done. God wants you in the witness protection program, right? God wants you in the fold, in the circle, under his wing or her wing or its wing, spirit's wing. Spirit wants to protect you. Spirit wants to make sure you are safe and guided. And so we're going to stop denying that now. All right, now what percent are we open to letting illness go? Now what percent are we open to letting illness go? 100%. Beautiful. So now let's look at the blocks. So we knew that we were 100% blocked to supportiveness. So what's going on here? What's our block to receiving support? What is our block to receiving support? Is this 28 or is this 10B? 10B. See the way she swung? I love that she swings like that. It was so graceful. She was like, no, ma'am, it's over here. Okay, so what is happening here on chart 10B? What's blocking us to receiving support? Body programs. It's built into us. And this goes back to that genetic thing, right? It's built into us, right? Maybe you got a lot of Capricorn energy. Maybe you got a lot of independent Aquarius energy. Maybe you were just bred that way, right? Your family's like, no, you do this on your own. You suffer in silence. You do this on your own. If you can't do it yourself, you might as well not do it at all. This is built into your body. It almost makes you uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable to receive help. Hi, that's me. I hate receiving help. It's so uncomfortable. I used to like it. I used to appreciate it. And then I think I got disappointed a bunch, and got let down a bunch. And then it just became painful to be even considering asking for help if you knew you might get disappointed or let down or betrayed or whatever. So if you're somebody who's in that camp as well, I feel you. And we're releasing all of us now from any wounding we have around times where we have accepted help and it's gone sideways. Releasing all of us now from the imprint inside of our body that says this isn't safe. Releasing our body from the belief that it is not safe to receive help. Now and again, we're spinning this pendulum, doing energy healing for all of us, just clearing that out of the way. Let out a good exhale. Soften your shoulders now. Really let those collarbones soften and fall forward. Drop your ears. Swallow. It's softening your tongue and just kind of swallowing and just really feeling yourself melt into this idea that you are safe to receive help. It is safe to receive help. I know it doesn't always feel that way, but it is safe to receive help. I can survive occasional disappointment when someone lets me down. I can survive the pain of rejection and abandonment when somebody says they're going to help and then it doesn't work out. It's okay if sometimes somebody has to cancel on me. It doesn't mean I was stupid, bad, or wrong for asking for help. Asking for help doesn't make me weak. Say that. Whew. Asking for help doesn't make me weak. I do not need to have any shame. I don't have shame for asking for help. Okay, what's going on here? avoiding impulsive, compulsive, careless, or unkind acts. Maybe we feel like it's impulsive of us or unkind of us, careless to ask for help because, you know, again, it feels risky. That's what that says to me. That says it feels risky asking for help. I can't predict what that other person will do. It's too risky for me to ask for help. I can't control. When I am worried about impulsivity, compulsivity, carelessness, and unkind acts being acted against me, that to me says I am having a hard time letting go of control and I don't trust people. I release myself now fully to trust people again. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay, what do we got going on here? What else do we need to do for this clearing? Chart 10A, chart 10A. What's going on here? Toxic streams we fill with love, light, lock, and seal. This came up last week. Releasing all of us from any toxicity we're carrying around this. The energy, the toxic energy that comes with doing it all on your own, being controlling, maybe having too high of standards. Venus is in Virgo right now. Maybe it's like this, like, if it's not done perfectly, I won't allow anyone else to do it. I'm the only one that knows how to do it right. It's that energy. That's the toxic energy we're talking about here. If it's not going to be done perfectly, I don't want any help with it. They don't know how to do it. Only I know how to do it right. Releasing us all now from the perfectionist archetype. Releasing us all now from that Venus and Virgo energy. Any help is great help. I'll accept any help at all. I allow myself to accept help that is imperfect, knowing that it is well intended, and that good energy goes a long way. We're releasing ourselves from the idea, from the very beginning of the idea, that it is not safe to ask for help, that we can't accept support. Okay, now what percent are we blocked to accepting support? Now what percent are we blocked? Only 15%. What do you got to do to clear this final 15% out of the way? Chart 5, chart 5, chart 5. What's we got to do to clear this final 5% out of the way? Clearing violence. Of course, of course, of course, of course. It has felt violent when we have asked for help and the person hasn't shown up for us. It is our own violence enacted against us when we demand a help that is only perfect. Again, I'm learning to understand violence in such a different way, and I'm learning that through doing these clearings is so much more than physical violence. And for anybody who needs help getting themselves out of a physically violent situation right now, we call that supportiveness in for you now and release any blocks you may be feeling to receiving support for that physical violence that's happening for you. Don't know why, but I feel called to say that. Okay, chart 20, chart 20, chart 20. My pendulum just spun backwards, so we're downloading already some new, good, positive energies, downloading all of us with these new beliefs we're going to need. Lessons we must accomplish before moving on. Lessons we must accomplish before returning back to source, returning back to spirit, returning our conscious mind, you know, our awareness back to the truth of this existence, which is we are all in this together. We are all one. It's okay to accept help. It's okay to accept support. It's okay to allow yourself to be nurtured. Anything else we can do here? Chart 8A. Chart 8A. The rebel archetype. What percent would it benefit us to be a little bit rebellious in this situation? Not at all. What percent are we heavily leaning into our rebel archetype? We're rebelling against help, right? People are offering it, or we know who we could ask for help, or we could do some things. We could take some actions to accept and receive support, and we're rebelling against that. I know the ways that I do that. I know the ways that I rebel against people's support, people's offerings for help and support. So releasing all of us now from this desire to rebel from support, to rebel from our community, to rebel against being helped and supported in our needs. Oof, I look tired today. I don't know. I don't think that I am sleep tired. I think that I'm a bit weary. I'm a bit weary. Okay. But not in a bad, not in a fully bad way, I will say. So we're clearing our final energies. We're clearing the energy of illness. Love that. The vengefulness. Clearing the energy of doubt. clearing the energy of being forsaken. This came up again the other day, releasing all of us now from those energies mentioned, and we're calling in our replacement energies. I will check on that final percentage here in a second. Calling in sobriety, which my teacher says is just being true, being honest with yourself. That's what sobriety is. Gratitude. Sobriety and gratitude, those are our energies. That's what we're calling in as the pendulum spins. And I will check. So what percent now are we open to receiving support? What percent are we blocked to receiving support? 0%. Beautiful. All right, everybody. Well, I hope that was helpful for you in some way. If you want to learn more, if you want to explore what a session could look like or feel like for you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me at www.thepointedstone.com. And yeah, don't ever hesitate to like, comment, share, send in some requests. Let me know what you would like to see us work on next. All right, everybody, thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Clearing with Kate.